The whole Jeep is so nice and shiny. I mean, I still have to replace broken bolts, but it's getting ready for the work party on the coast at Ocean Shore. There's a cleanup beach event, and yeah, what we're gonna be doing is, because I'm planning on driving this Jeep into a couple events. I already did it. My biggest problem is my whole front always drives. Why? Because racing halves. This is one big piece of metal. It cannot basically break. It will break your axle shaft and other stuff. So we're gonna get rid of this drive flange and install this used Yukon hardcore locking hub. My buddy Jimmy Scheffner sold me this one for an amazing deal, so I can unlock my hubs and drive it without all my front end, everything rotating. Why? Because, well, my front driveline, it's used to be in really good shape till, you see, I can move it a little bit. It moves the splines. I had to remove the blue plastic sealant and goes in there because the driveline stopped moving 100%. And now it has a little of play, so when I'm doing 60 miles an hour down the road with everything rotating at the same pace, because that has a locker, that has a spool, it vibrates. So I figure it'll be nice to have a set of locking halves. I doubt I'll ever race with these. I will always race with those ones. But let's see if these were worn locking halves. They give you kind of like a slug and you push it in there. It comes pre-assembled and then you throw your collar and everything is on. This, it's a lot of different parts. So let's make a little video of how all that goes together. Yes, I know I need a new rim. It's all good. Let's go. Well, as you can see, Yukon hardcore lockout halves. They can be pretty intimidating. There's a lot of parts. If you were to buy worn locking halves, everything kind of comes in a little package. You throw it on here, everything works. But worn locking halves, they have the tendency of breaking under real use. This is what you want. This is called that's also from Yukon. This is a drive flange, and they are designed for racing, competition, or just very heavy duty rock crawling, off-roading. It's just one big old load of one chunk of metal in there. It won't break. It will break your housing, it will break your axle shaft. This don't fail. So if this doesn't fail, why do I want to change it? Well, that's because even though I use my Jeep for racing or recreational fun, I'm going to start taking it to a couple shows. I drove it not too long ago to go to a Jeep show. They were doing donations, raffles. Ooh, we got water. Perfect time to take it apart. So, I really want to start driving the Jeep on the streets. And it drives fine, for a Jeep with full hydro and let's see where you are. Jeep with full hydro on 40s. Oh, that's not a real Jeep if it's not on bigger tires. Well, I ran 40s because that's the tire size and I race, 40s and under. I used to have bigger tires, but not anymore. I gotta remember, oh, actually I'm gonna have the video of how this coming apart. All that water. Wonder if this is gonna be rusty and fight me on the way out. Anyhow, I wanna drive it on the road. And the way this Jeep is, some things are starting to get some play here and there, like my front drive line. And I don't want to, every time I take it on the road, you know, I'm doing 60, 80 miles an hour, and absolutely everything is moving. Rear end, front end, just everything, it's moving at a high speed, and there's some unwanted vibration. Will you come out? I don't know. With that water in there, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, it's... Why aren't you more rusted? Very interesting. Happy, but interesting. Okay. So you're gonna start with this here. So you can see it's kind of like a cross pattern, an X, if you may say, all the way on the back. Because that's where, this is the first part we're going to be installing. There's also an X. So this goes like this. It doesn't go like this. The instructions will not tell you, but it doesn't go like this. The flat area goes towards the outside. Let me put some gloves on, because I'm gonna be greasing every single part. This lockout kit was sold to me by a friend at an amazing, unbelievable deal, so I could drive the Jeep on the road. There. First we're gonna put grease on everything that needs grease before. Yeah, all on the splines, all on here, all in there. If you're wondering, yes, these are 35 spline stub shafts. Again, I'm not easy on this vehicle, so if it doesn't have the big strong parts, well, it don't last. Remember, flat area out. So we're gonna put this thing first. We're gonna align it till it goes through these random washers on that cross section all the way to the back. Hopefully the camera kind of cut on that. Next step, spacer. When you buy this spacer, or when you buy your kit, make sure you tell the people at Yukon what kind of axle you have, because this is a Kingpin Chevy, which is different than the Kingpin Ford. This will be different. Boop. Your next step is gonna be the spring, and these springs are dirty, have some little grime and dirt. There's a reason why I'm not running a brush on it, and the reason is I'm lazy. And if I use any of my good brushes on here, then the brush will have to go to the garbage. And it's boat season and I'm working on the boat at the same time, so there. These are the next two pieces. They go like this, and it goes like that. A lot of the time you're gonna really fight it, so don't even worry about it. Take it apart, grease every piece individual from each other, and then you'll install one, and then you'll install the other one. So every time you try to install them at the same time, Satan will try to fight you for it. And it makes you throw tools across the garage. Putting grease on all the T's and everything. And that we're gonna set here while I grease the other stuff. Lots of grease on this brass bushing. Lots of grease on the inside of the spline. Yes, I do have a little tab with grease, but I don't know where I went. So I'm using my grease gun for this purpose. Okay, now that everything is greased, it's ready to go, because one's gonna go after the other. We're gonna push that in there. Now we're gonna push this other one on the spline. There. Oh, that worked out great. All right. Now I had to I feel like I had to grab the axle or bring the axle this way. Oh, I don't want to grab my plier with these hands. Let's see if I can move the axle. Right there. I think I made enough room. All I did was put my plier behind the U-joint on the axle, slide the axle like 1/8 of an inch forward, so I have enough room for this disaster of a spacer. This is what my body gave me, okay? At the discount that I got this, not gonna complain. Oh. I really wanna move the axle outward more. I just don't have a pry bar with me and I don't wanna let go of this. Because I don't know if I barely have enough room for that C-clip. Oh no, gloves are failing. There goes me trying to keep my hands clean. Okay. There. Even though I'm not happy with that C-clip, and I should be using the nicer clip than I had on my dry flanges, but it's there, it's tight, it will do. Next we have the cam activator and this weird looking spacer thing. Grease on both of them, even on my thumb apparently. Not much that I can do, it already has grease on it. All grease in that. Lots of grease on this. There we go. This obviously goes to the outside, goes through there like so. This one doesn't matter if it goes like this, like this, like this. But this goes here. And now we have the outer clip. Now we're gonna put a little of grease. Beautiful how it went in, right? I like to put grease on the seals too, to prevent the water from coming in, like in there. On my defense, as you can see on the other seal, it didn't have grease. So of course water got in. And you're like, oh, you put in grease anywhere. Well, that's what brake cleaner's for. Oh no. Should be a big O-ring on here. No. Where's the big O-ring? I wonder if it's inside the house. I was kind of cleaning this kit. He had it on the shelf for quite a while. That, or it didn't come with it. And now I'm gonna have to take this grease part. Well. Let's see where we are with that. Am I missing that O-ring? Or what the hell's going on? Should have been on the hub. It's not on the hub. We're gonna have to go buy one. Yes, I installed this side. Maybe because I also filmed this side. Maybe I finished the video of me putting the last ring out of this side. In case I don't have that O-ring. I'm gonna check inside the house. Well, I cannot find the O-ring, which is making me angry. But let's put on some gloves. Not much I can do now. I thought I had all the parts. Obviously I was mistaken. So what I'm gonna try to do is see if the drive flange O-ring fits that. So then I can take my other drive flange and buy the right O-ring. Basically this is what I'm after. Fits perfect. Why? Because they're the same freaking brand. That's why. Okay, back at it. A little more upset, but back at it. All right. This goes like so. You have to put them on the lock position. See, it's gonna say lock because you want to align that hole with these cam lobes. And then grab your 4mm. Let's see, your side to side, kind of like there. I think kind of like, ooh, there. If it ties, we're in line. Pretty sure it's tight. I'll grab the other 4 studs instead of 6 because it definitely came without 2 bolts. Now without 2 bolts and 1 O-ring thingy. This is supposed to go like 22.5 pounds. I'm just going to snug. The instructions even say you're supposed to put Loctite, which seems extremely odd for such little bolts. I don't see them ever backing off. Not only that, it's the fact that I don't have some grease and stuff. I can get all the way to the end. There. They also have these rubber washers. Normally you're gonna put the washers on the bolt and push them through, but because this is a used kit, they're already smashed inside. And I don't think I'm gonna put this one yet. I'm gonna go to the store and buy 2 bolts, or I do it later. Interesting. I'll put it on for now. In case I have other stuff to do, then I'm gonna lose that bolt. Right, put it on. And then whenever I'm truly ready to go to the store and buy a bolt, I go ahead, take one. That's what we're going to snug. Yeah. That one's still dirty inside. Get all that grime out. Okay. So, if this were to work, should be like we're locked. My axle shaft is gonna spin. Perfect. Now, we put it on free. And the axle shaft don't spin. Beautiful. Made it. Currently going to the store. Gonna go get a couple bolts and oh my god, I forgot about. Let's throw it on reverse. Forgot about my. I'm missing an O-ring, so if I'm going to the store, I'm gonna make sure it actually, maybe they have an O-ring. Alright, boy. Right here, that's losing his mind. Also, if you look at this Jeep, see, leather heated seat. It's a 2011. For the people that don't know too much about Jeeps, the interior basically changed in 2011. So this will have the 3.8 minivan engine versus a 3.6 minivan engine. I'm thinking about selling these. If somebody's interested, hit me up. I think I might ask around 22,000, something like that. It's a full Rubicon, you know, 35s, you know, the lower gears, the 427s, the lockers front and back, all that stuff, but with a pretty interior, you know. Even though it's an 11, A lot of people think it's like, oh, they changed the body style on the inside on 2012 when they swapped the engine. No, actually 11 is the first year with a nice interior and the old engine. Which the old engine, yes, doesn't have much power like the new one, but way, way more reliable. All I had to say. You do not want to work on the newer engine. That's for sure. And that's why I went with this one. I know I was going to be missing on power, but hey, the lack of power keeps this Dana 44s alive. So if you're interested on a nice Rubicon, hit me up. I can send you some pictures, videos, come test drive it. I think for $22,000 it's gonna be a hell of a deal. Has 154,000 miles, very well maintained, does not leak any fluid, and does not burn any oil. Taking this all the way from Olympia to Idaho to Leavenworth. I'll see if I have a video of me towing the side-by-side with a utility trailer. That's just fine. You know, tow mode, drop a gear off and just goes, no problem. And in case you keep hearing that tire mount, it's an aftermarket, super heavy duty. I had one lost bolt and that's what you keep hearing. Very, very annoying. But I almost never drive this Jeep, so I always keep forgetting till I jump in it and there's a noise. It's just an Allen wrench, tight, done. I haven't found the time for that. Well, I was going to go and take this for a test drive, but the little green thing in there, the moped, the guy just called me that the title arrived. So he lives on Centralia, so I might as well. I'm gonna take my dump truck to the dump and dump it while I'm there doing those stuff. Gotta put the tarp on it. Been driving the Jeep, drives fantastic on two-wheel drive high with the front end disconnect. My front brakes are not the best at all. My back ones. They really lock up.